Hi there, guys. So today we're going to talk about balance. There's certain things in life that you have to get a balance right with, in terms of happiness, so positivity and negative thoughts, um, having that perfect job with the perfect pay packet compared to job satisfaction, and being popular and having people around you that you can trust. It's something that I've constantly battled with, and I always wanted to be the popular kid, but I never was when I was at school. I never was when I was younger, and as I grew up, things got harder because it was more difficult to make friends. It was more difficult to build that group, but I built substantial groups. But I didn't have people that I could depend on. I had a select few within those groups, but I didn't have a clear group that I could. And as you get older, those friendship groups are different, and I now do. I have the people that I can depend on and the people that I know that are still going to be around, because being popular and having large friends groups is exhausting. Trying to keep up all that social contact, trying to make sure that you're seeing everyone all the time and everyone still knows you're about. They're absolutely exhausting. And it's the same with work, in the sense that I was so focused on the fact that I wanted to move on and move up. That's what I think I moved branches so many times. Some of it was my choice, some of it wasn't, but the ones that were my choice, I think I was chasing that career goal to get that pay packet, but that doesn't get job satisfaction. I mean, I love the job I do now. Very recently, a job has come up that I want to go for, and there were things that were holding me back. I'm glad that the job advertisement, I knew the job was coming, I just didn't know when it was coming. And I'm glad it took as long as it did to come out, because it meant that I had time to rethink what I was doing. It's important not to stand in your own way. I mean, I've been doing the same job for a good few years now, and it was a comfort zone in the sense that I knew what I was doing, my knowledge was there. I was always scared to move on because I would have to start again. And the new job that's come up isn't starting again. It's a step in the right direction, it's a step forward. But I know eventually when my career takes the path out of the department that I'm in now, it will be starting again. Not from scratch. I mean, it's still the same company. Well, it might not be. Who knows? But it's about developing yourself and moving forward. But making sure that you're still happy with the way that your life is going. Because money, everyone's chasing that massive paycheck. Everyone's chasing that pay rise, but that isn't ultimately what happiness is going to be. Some people it is. Some people, the greed and the ambition takes over, and that's what they see as happiness, and that's okay. That's okay for some people, but I actually have to like what I'm doing and who I'm doing it for. And I don't necessarily just mean as the company. I mean, most corporations are evil, or seen as evil, but there's you have to like the person that you're working under. And there was 2 jobs recently that came up that I considered, but I did not like the people that were going to be above me, so I thought it wasn't worth doing for my own mental health. And I think that gauging that gap between ambition and happiness is very hard to do. And most things in life you have to balance out. And the negative, positive thoughts that I mentioned before, they're very hard to balance. Because as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, as human beings, we do hone towards the negative. But you have to find life balance. It's not even just work-life balance, it's life balance. It's about what your brain's telling you want and what will actually make you happy. And it's a constant struggle, and it's something that I fight with. And as you get older, you do learn more. I like about being popular. I was out 5 times a week, trying to keep that social circle going. Realised it wasn't worth what I was doing, because it not only was exhausting me, it was depleting my bank account very quickly. And also it made me into a person that I didn't want to be. But I learned, and I changed. And now I keep my circles a lot tighter. Like, for instance, at one point I created this whole gig group, so everybody that I met at a gig was added into this group, and it was supposed to create some sort of community. It didn't work out. I met some great people. Don't get me wrong, there wasn't a single person within that group that I didn't enjoy the time that I spent with them, but some of them I didn't see becoming friends. They were just going to be a part of that group, and I added them just for the sake of adding them. But also, I met a lot of those people while I was drunk. And you're not the best judge when you're drunk. And you meet people and you get on by the fact that you're both drunk rather than actually things in common. And I tried to do the same with a lot of things. I mean, I had so many group chats going at one point, because I was trying to float all these sort of things, and it doesn't work. And I found the people I want to stay in contact with will still be around if I'm not constantly messaging them, if I'm not seeing them all the time. The best friendships, I feel like you can go months without seeing each other and you get back together and it's like nothing's changed, no time has passed. But I think truly the key to happiness is finding those balances. Which, as I say, is not easy to do. But it's something you have to focus on. And not deviate from when you make those decisions. You can change the plan if something doesn't go right, but when they are going right, stick to it. Your base urges might tell you to do something different because the negative side of things is coming back out again, but you've got to stick to it. You got to find a way to stick to it. And not everybody is in, as I said before, not everybody is in your life for the entire series. Some of them will just appear for a season. But that's okay, because they will add something to your life, or they will teach you a lesson. But just because they go doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. It means that their time was up. Their script ended. And the choices you make around jobs will affect your career, will affect your life, but the ultimate thing is that you're happy with the choices that you made, and the regrets that you have from certain choices that you learn from. I feel like we're all still learning, even when we're out of school. Life lessons don't stop until you start ignoring them. when you start ignoring them, that's when things take a turn that you don't want to. But the way to make a balanced decision is with a clear, level head. And I've learned that thinking with emotion, you can make some really bad decisions. Not always, it depends what it is. But you can make some really bad decisions. But again, it's about not regretting those decisions, but learning from them. Taking enough in and remembering enough of the mistake or regret that you make, but taking enough in that it's not going to bring you down. So it's finding the balance. Everything, I feel, comes down to balance. But that balance can go askew if you take your eye off the ball. And I feel like, as someone with mental health issues, it's very easy to slip off the ball. But it's important to know that it's never too late to come back. And I think that, again, going back to something I've said before, but asking for help is so important. Talking about your feelings, talking about what is going on, not making all the decisions on your own. I mean, you can talk to 100 people and agree with none, but then you know what your decision was. Sometimes you've got to open that door. You're not going to like what everyone's going to say. But don't get yourself closed off. Again, find the balance between opening up and being closed off. Because you don't want to be a completely open book. Because you'll feel vulnerable because of the fact that you're opening yourself up. And it's okay to feel vulnerable, but you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you feel like you could be attacked at any time for something that you've been open about. And it's being open with the right people, which is, again, finding the balance. It all comes down to balance with me. I mean, life is a constant struggle of balance. Don't eat too much junk food. Don't shy away from treating yourself every now and then. Don't chase that pay packet, but don't think about the fact that you're gonna go, that you need to eat, you need to pay bills. So you got to find the balance with that. Being open to helping other people, but not letting yourself become a doormat. But sometimes you have to swing the scales too far to know that you've gone too far, and that's okay. Just don't give up when you do. Know that you can come back. I did. From a lot of things in a lot of ways. Whether that be with friendship groups, whether that be with work. I mean, I let myself get so far deep into my own mental health and not finding that balance that I nearly lost my job. But I came back, and I'm highly respected in my job now. I'm very valuable to the market that I'm in. I don't know, it might sound big-headed, but I'm good at what I do. But that didn't come overnight. And again, that's another balance that you have to find between being arrogant and being confident in what you're good at. It's a fine line. It's a fine line. But the humble person will accept when they're wrong. The arrogant person will keep on going and fighting. Balance again. strive for balance. It's all we can do. And becoming a bit better person each day. But remember not to get settled into your comfort zones. Remember to keep fighting to move forward in life, to better yourself. But that doesn't mean you need a promotion. It doesn't mean you need to change a job. It doesn't mean you need to make more friends. What it means is developing what you have into making a better you and a better life for you. So important. Anyway, we're at our 15 minutes again. So thank you. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that shared, liked, donated. The support has been absolutely amazing. I know we have a whole host of new followers now, and we've made it over 200 followers. We're nearly at £500. I can't believe how well this has gone in the space of 3 months. I've been sober since June. And on this campaign since August. It's amazing to think how much my life has changed. My mentality as well. I had to open up to the idea that I needed to change some things. And I believe I have changed for the better. And I believe I'm on the right path. But I'm nowhere near the finish line. And that's okay. It's a journey after all. And the people that listen to these videos and find some comfort in them, and maybe they help, maybe they don't. But even if it helps one person out there, that's good enough for me. There's one journey that moves away from a breakdown or a suicide. That's enough for me. Anyways, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you're having a great mental health day, and I'll speak to you guys soon.